The Minister of Tobago Development is hampering progress in the Crown Point area, repairs at the Dwight Yorke Stadium to be finished by May, and major paving exercise underway in the Scarborough area.
Info
Update,
bringing you the latest
news, views, and reviews,
along with responses,
comments, and events
affecting you.
brought to you by the Information Division of the Tobago House of Assembly.
The Chief Secretary of London is calling on the Minister of Tobago Development to do his part to ensure Crown Point is declared a designated tourism development area. Alyssa Crosby explains.
The Tobago House of Assembly sent a note to Parliament asking for the removal of restrictions on the purchase of land there. The Assembly believes this will make it attractive for investors. But the Chief Secretary says it's been 6 months since the note is with the Minister.
The note was referred to the Finance and General Purposes Committee, of which the comments of the Minister of Tobago Development has been sought. In other words, the Minister of Tobago Development was supposed to make a comment, and then based on his response, the note would then go back to Cabinet to be approved.
He says the delay is frustrating potential investment, and he plans to write to the Prime Minister to address this issue.
I've not received any correspondence from the Minister on this, but the point about it is that it is creating a problem. One comment, one response from the Minister, which has not been received, and this letter was written on the 11th of December.
He says several other notes from the Assembly have also not been addressed. I'm Alyssa Crosby for Info Update.
It's been nearly 4 months since the closure of the Dwight Yorke Stadium due to health and safety concerns. This has been especially frustrating for the Tobago House of Assembly that spent millions refurbishing the facility. In particular, the Mondo Athletics track. It also means the island's athletes don't have access to the stadium. Well, today, the newly appointed Minister of Sport, Brent Sancho, came to discuss this and other issues affecting Tobagonians. Davia Chambers reports on the outcome.
The Chief Secretary of London, his Secretary of Education, Youth Affairs and Sport, Hughie Cadet, and the Assistant Secretary Jomo Pitt met with Minister Sancho and his team earlier today. Coming out of that meeting, the minister says they're working assiduously to rectify the situation at the stadium. He hopes all repairs would be completed by mid-May.
We will do all in our power to make sure that everything is set by the dates designed. I think moving forward there are some issues regarding the OSH and the compliances set out, and as I mentioned before, we've already started work on some of them.
The line secretary says the repairs are critical, especially because Tobago plans to host the International British Airways Football Legends Challenge in June at the stadium. Mr. Cadet says in order for this to happen, talks will continue after today.
The steps along that line, what they have indicated, one is that discussions will take place with OSH and the authority to ensure that all they've identified critically all necessary works that must be done to ensure that risk is reduced, because we have recognized that there are some works that will not be able to be done.
The aim is to find out what can be done immediately so athletes can gain access to the training ground and warm-up track outside the stadium. Mr. Cadet wants this to happen as soon as possible. The hosting of the Tobago Secondary School's track and field competition is also in limbo because of the situation. The stadium is owned by the government of Trinidad and Tobago, but the Chief Secretary said the Assembly intends to have greater responsibility for its management. I'm Davia Chambers for Info Update.
Several streets on the island will get a makeover, as the Division of Infrastructure and Public Utilities started road repair work in and around Lower Scarborough. Paving started yesterday and will continue until the end of March. In light of this, motorists and pedestrians are being asked to be patient and accommodating of the disruption that will occur primarily during the evening periods. The scope of works will take place on a phased basis on the following roads: Old Government Farm Road, Orange Hill Road to Milford Road from Yachts to the Esplanade, Wilson Road, Post Office Street and Gardenside Street, and Carrington Street. Alternative routes have been suggested. That's it from all of us at the Department of Information. I am Lois Vincent and you've been listening to Info Update.